on to IP in the news,
the really
please.
serious stuff now. Okay, so we have a patent to talk about today. Tell us about the patent, Elizabeth.
Yes, so I thought this was very interesting. It's by Moira Fagoni and Frank Fagoni from California. It issued in 1989, so it's been around for a while.
It's off patent now, so you can use this without fear of infringement. It's
a device that allows you to scream into it out of frustration or whatever, and it has electronics that light up to show you how loud you're screaming. So I am really surprised that these did not catch on and be everywhere in the corporate workplace. It muffles your scream too.
And parents, and kids. But if you look at the description of the invention, it's really just a piece of foam in the shape of a beer cozy, right? That has kind of cut out so that you could put it around your mouth and it forms a tight seal. So last night, Elizabeth and I went to Walmart trying to find a beer cozy, and believe it or not, we couldn't find a beer cozy at Walmart. So I said, what the heck, maybe we can do something else. So what I did was I got a cup, all right, and I found a sock on the floor, not really sure where that came from. And so I'm going to now, for the first time, experiment with a makeshift holler meter here on the show, and we'll see if it actually works, okay? So 3, 2, 1. Did that have any kind of? Did that have any?
Okay, so
I just hope that's a clean sock.
Yeah,
that?
I was just. I hope that's a clean sock.
I'm not sure it was, but I think it
chances are if it
reduces the reverberation. So
it didn't sound like $1 million to me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about this IP.
Yeah, well,
I think the real test is you have to scream without it first.
Yeah,
and then scream.
Get the comparative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listeners are going to have to imagine that on their own, because there's no screaming on Passage to Profit. It's one of our rules.
So one last thing, I want to read a little bit of the description in the patent. Many of us become so frustrated by some tasks that we are undertaking that we would like to scream. Others of us get angry at another person, happening, event, or the like, so mad that we would like to vent our anger by screaming or yelling. We generally suppress the desired because it would look foolish and also disturb others. So you don't look foolish.
Do I look foolish? I mean, that's
anyway, so on to comments from our guests.
All right, so guests, what do you think about all this?
So who are you going to start with?
Let's start with Pete.
Okay.
Well, I kind of already chimed in there, but it's interesting. I mean, I love the idea that entrepreneurs are idea people as a general rule, right? It's like, how many of these ideas do we have rolling around in our heads every day? And what are we going to do with them? And a lot of times people, even sometimes things that we deem as silly, there may be something out there to it. And if you don't actually take your idea through to, I have a little framework called the IPA. You can ideate about stuff, you can postulate about stuff, but until you activate about stuff, it really just doesn't happen. So this entrepreneur puts stuff into activation, and that I love.
Yeah, I mean,
great.
Yeah, good comment. Taryn, what do you have to think?
It's funny, when I was watching you do the demo, I was thinking about the journey that an entrepreneur goes through. Oftentimes, if you Google it, actually, the journey of an entrepreneur or the journey of success, we always think it looks like a straight line, but it's actually like a messy line that trends upwards, right? And there's hard days, right? When you work on big things take time, right? And we only learn when we step out of our comfort zone, which can be very uncomfortable. And there are times where you just need to scream. So I love that.
This couple, they were probably entrepreneurs and had a few days when they wanted to scream. And so
they were probably screaming at each other. That's why one of them invented it.
But I think there's a lot of value to getting it out, right? Right, exactly. But there's a lot of value to getting it out, right? How many of us stuff our feelings inside? So what better example to just, let it out?
I love it. I love it. Georgie, what do you have? Liz Georgie, what do you have to say?
It's all right. We can go back to 8th grade gym class if you want. That's no problem. Listen, the pet rock did two great things for America. One, it inspired a generation of people to make their dumb idea come to life. And two, it proved just how willing the American populace is to part with their dollars if your idea is just marketed ideally for them. And so I think this product really probably fell asleep because of poor marketing. And it's really too bad because who knows, they could have been Pet Rock 2.0.
Yeah.
That's a very astute observation. I
Very, very
agree.
well
Yes.
said, Liz. And
Yes.
I agree with what you're saying completely. I mean, it's true. A lot of startups are not funded well enough on the marketing piece to really get out there. And so, Kenya?
I agree with Liz. I would say in the world of entrepreneurship, there's no such thing as a bad idea, right? Because it works either way. Either it goes out there and it's really awesome and it's great, or it makes you reassess the situation and the product and what you can do to make it better. So it works either way in the world of entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Excellent.
Very profound. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back right after this moment, but stay tuned for more Passage to Profit coming up next.